Well, thank you. Back, Trump said that he would testify at his trial. Of course, he didn't testify. And of course, we didn't make anything of it because, well, that would be unfair. And now the big news is President Biden has agreed to a date. I think it's June the 27th. Trump says he'll be there. Calling me skeptical. And now he's starting to say, well, Biden was on drugs. If he had to take a drug test. And now he's going to say, well, CNN can't be fair to me. And what the Democrats are going to do is, oh, he didn't show up. President Biden agreed to show up. And Trump told to stick it up our ass. And how bad? What a tragedy. Let's have a panel of lawyers to discuss this. Oh, shit. I'm getting nauseated. Right? So if Trump says he wants Biden to take a drug test, then fine. You release the files that Keith Schiller, your goon, stole from your internist in January of 2017. That's right. You can look it up. Fact check me, factcheck.org. Fact check me, Glenn Kessler, or these assholes that are just sitting out there just dying to be fair to everybody. Answer this question. Did or did not Keith Schiller go into Dr. Bornstein's office in January of 2017 and steal his healthcare records? And I'm sorry, I told you what this is about. Those records would contain the fact that he had syphilis. What are the effects of secondary syphilis? Of course, I've showed you the splotches on his hand. But would anybody ever follow up and ask him, where are the health records, Donnie boy? Oh, no, we're not going to do that. Joe Kahn says the New York Times is going to cover this down the middle. So why don't we do a story saying Bull Connor had a better family life than Martin Luther King? Why don't we do a story that says Tojo came from more humble beginnings than Franklin Roosevelt? Because that's where these people are right now. And that's where the Democratic, I don't know, bullshit, progressive advocacy groups running around Washington, going to wine and cheese parties and getting their ass beat at every turn. You know what the Supreme Court is doing? And in today's Wall Street Journal, trying to justify the flag that Alito and Martha Ann, his wife, who he blames. What kind of fucking guy blames his wife? What he takes away a 50-year right that women's had, then he blames his wife. Well, what did your mother do to you to be that misogynistic? That's not even normal behavior. But far be it from us to, because the August editorial page of the Wall Street Journal has tried to give us the history of the appeal to heaven flag. Like, I'm going to give you the history of the Confederate battle flag. And some cracker's head is on the back of his pickup truck. And we're going to assume that he's just not saying anything, but he respects the valor of the average Confederate soldier. God damn, man. Why am I so old in listening to this asininity? And now I'm reading stories that President Biden is discussing his polling numbers, and his staff is discussing the polling numbers, and they don't believe in polls, and they're mad because there's emphasis on the age issue. Stop it. Fuck it. Stop it. Your poll numbers are not good and you're old. Get over it. I hate to say that. Why don't you tear his face off and talk about, and you've already fought, no one would know it, but you keep it a secret. You're for raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. You know what? It's a really good idea. You know why it's a really good idea? Because it doesn't cost jobs. They have economists that have looked at this every way you can. And when you raise the minimum wage and say, well, it's only X people get the minimum wage. Yes, but there's X million people that get 20% above the minimum wage. And if you raise it, it'll go up. No, that's not a new idea, James. That's Oh, democratic populism. Mark Penn is not going to like that. Well, who gives a shit what Mark Penn likes or doesn't like? It's try it on a poll. Try it on a poll. And I'm going to tell you something else. That Mark Penn is not going to like, or oh, we got to understand these people, James. We got to balance. Oh no, you don't. So next year, the Trump tax cuts are coming to be renewed because they want 10-year budget projections or some bullshit. It's just all bullshit they don't even tell you about. We're not going to do it on incomes over $400,000 a year. And we're going to take that money and we're going to put it into something that helps young people. Because the generational thievery that has occurred in this country is criminality of the first order. And we keep wondering why these young people aren't coming home to the Democrats, or why blacks are not coming home to the Democrats. Because Democratic messaging is full of shit. That's why. And talk about cost of living. And we're going to help deal with this. And don't talk about fucking Gaza and student loans. That's so out. That guy Delavolpe is pretty good. Give him 15 issues. You know what the number 14 and 15 issue were total? Student debt in Gaza. I forgot which order it's in. And why are we forgiving student loans for people that go to Harvard, which, according to Scott Galloway, quite accurately, is nothing but a hedge fund that has classrooms? Well, they got a $52 billion fucking surplus. Why are taxpayers going to bail these people out? Why don't you come out for a proposal to tax every university endowment over $5 billion and use that money to give their former students relief? Or the Harvard Board of Overseers, or whatever the fuck they call it, Harvard Corporation, I don't like that. And too many serious people. And my niece, came home from Princeton, and all the young people there are mad about Gaza and shit, and all of that crap you hear on TV, and all that crap you read in the newspaper. So I'm not going. We all know where we are. We all know the position we're in. We all know what the polls say. We all know how old President Biden is. Quit fucking arguing what's right in front of your face and start laying something out there. Talk about how Trump has outsourced the Supreme Court to everybody. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not outsourcing Supreme Court appointments. I'm simply going to interview every one of them. I know something about this. I was the head of the Judiciary Committee. All right. I've learned a lot over the years. And I've learned that extensive questioning can oftentimes reveal the truth. Ask a simple question to a prospective Supreme Court nominee. Do you agree, as I do, that there's an inherent right to privacy guaranteed to people of the United States under our Constitution? If you say yes, thank you. We'll go to the next question. Do you think that the criminal-ass crooked on the take, bought like a sack of potatoes Supreme Court should operate under the same ethics rule as, say, a federal district court judge? If you don't answer yes, you're wasting your time. But why should a third grader tell the truth to his teacher when Supreme Court nominees are lying out of their ass? Honestly, I never really thought about abortion. I'd have to read the briefs before it comes. Do you think any motherfucker 45 years older that's gone to law school, that's involved in public policy, has never thought about abortion, that doesn't have an opinion on it? No, come on, you'd have to be the freaking op-ed writer for the New York Times to believe something that's stupid. So I'm just telling you, if you're going to get more of this, I'm worried because I agree on the Constitution. And I don't think it's a balanced equation. Well, some people think the Constitution is a good founding document that we've amended, that we've improved, that there's a process that goes on. Or some people say, why need a constitution? But we need strength, James. We need somebody to come in there, that exhibit strength. Okay, good. You have the strength to overturn the freaking Constitution of the United States. You're going to get rid of all of the civil service employees. You're going to be a dictator from day one. Oh, you don't want to talk about that. That's not fair. Glenn Kessler is not going to like that. It's you're being a demagogue. No, I'm not. Ask him one question. Did Keith Schiller steal Trump's medical records from his internist? And where are these medical records? Prove that you're fair. Ask him and keep asking him. And the same thing for the Biden campaign, because you and I are not stupid. We know why he stole the records. All right? Let me put it this way. We have a strong suspicion is he stole the records because he had the goddamn clap. And look up, go to the Mayo Clinic or WebMD or whatever. I'll get a rash and I'll look it up on the computer. Go look up how insidious a disease that secondary syphilis can be. I'm not sure he's not having sex anymore because his dick may have fallen off from all the VD he has. So this is a time for choosing. This is a time where not just us, because we know the stakes. This is a time Constitution. This is a time to see if these. Well, it's not fair to criticize him for having a flag in his yard, or Alito went on a fishing trip because there was an extra spot on the G5, or we don't like the minimum wage because it's not a new idea, or we don't like taxing the rich because it'll hurt their feelings and they won't feel respected, and they won't go out and leverage middle interest rates or whatever these fucking people do. And Harvard is going to feel bad if you have anything to do with their endowment. Okay, let's get over all of this. Let's get over all these silly ass, irrelevant elites worrying about it. And let's go between now and Election Day and just kick ass. I'm serious. Come up with simple, understandable, popular, yes, proposals that people can understand where there's a distinction. Ask about syphilis. It's a relevant issue. Don't spin the polls, change the polls. Who cares what the poll is? What I'm trying to do is, it's like going to manage of a baseball game in the fifth inning where you're down 5-3. Yeah, I know I'm fucking down. I'm trying to get 6 runs before and stop them from getting another one. That's what normal people do. It's a fact. You're behind. You're going to be 82 this year. It's a fact. But I'd rather be 82 and not have secondary syphilis than be 78 and have secondary syphilis. Frame the choice. Thank you, and we'll be back next week.